Sports Today family members. Today it's going to be an action packed day if you're very much interested in women's cricket because from 3 p.m. IST onwards, you're going to have the WPL auction that's going to begin. I've done a special video on the preview, the players, the purses that each franchisee has. You can check that video out that I did yesterday. On the other hand, today is the second T20I between India and England at the Wankhede Stadium. India will really have to do well if they have to stay alive in the series. And secondly, if you look at it, there has been a lot of activity in the build-up to the India men's tour of South Africa as well. Yesterday, the team had a practice session. They had a full warm-up session that was at Kingsmead, Durban. They're gearing up for the first T20 that will be played on the 10th of December, which is tomorrow. Now, Rinku Singh gave an interview to BCCI.tv. You can check that video out, wherein he mentioned some very important things about the number 5 position. Now remember, Rinku Singh has been earmarked as your number 5 batter in this current India T20I setup. Rinku Singh has stated that yes, I have been playing at the number 5 position ever since 2013. He's got a decade of experience playing at number 5. He played even for UP in that position. Sometimes even for Kolkata Knight Riders, that would be his position. So the message that Rinku Singh has got from the team management is that go out, play in your own style. Rahul Dravid and the team management have totally backed Rinku Singh and stated that yes, go out, play with your natural style. There is no pressure at this point in time. So he is getting backing from the team management, which is a very good sign to see. Out of all the T20I players that is there in this current pool, if you expect one individual to lock in his place for the 2024 T20 World Cup, it is Rinku Singh. So Rinku Singh is going to be one of the key factors in the series as well. He mentioned adjusting to the South African conditions is going to be a challenge because he has played mostly in Ireland, mostly in India. South Africa, this will be his first tour ever. And there he stated there is a bit of extra pace, there is a bit of extra bounce. So to adjust to that, that is going to be the major thing that Rinku Singh is going to have to do. So 3 T20Is are a very important build-up for the T20 World Cup in 2024. But as we have seen in the past, be it 21, be it 22, be it the 2023 ODI World Cup, bilateral series results can only be taken to a certain extent when you have to consider whether it is important or not. See, India, after these 3 T20Is, 10th, 12th and 14th, they are only going to play 3 more T20Is in January. After that, they are only going to play the IPL. So, if you look at it in this way, it's a very important series for the form of certain batters. One is Shubman Gill. Now remember, Shubman Gill had a kind of a very up and down World Cup in the sense. He batted well in some matches, but he didn't bat well in the other games. Here, after taking a break in the Australia series, he's going to be back here for the T20Is and he'll be looking to capitalize on it. Because remember, Shubman Gill will really have to ensure that he gets going. Now, when it comes to the T20I setup, he's kind of fallen behind. After having started the year so well, he's fallen back. Because Yashasvi Jaiswal and Rituraj Gaikwad did well in the series against Australia. So that's why it is going to be a very important situation that Rinku Singh, Shubman Gill and all face. Rinku is all but certain at 5, but Yashasvi Jaiswal and Rituraj Gaikwad's exploits mean that Shubman Gill now will have to really step up into this bit. So that is the situation when we have to look at the Indian cricket team at this point. Now let us switch continents from South Africa in the southern hemisphere. Let us go down under Australia. Now, Pakistan versus Australia, the first test is happening on 14th December, the West Test. That's going to happen at Perth, Optus Stadium. Now, Pakistan have got a massive injury concern now with Abrar Ahmed suffering a leg injury. He's gone for MRI scans. Most likely, he's out for the first test. Now, if that means who do Pakistan pick as a spinner? Remarkably, they only have one more spinner in the lineup, and that is Noman Ali. Noman Ali is a left-arm orthodox spinner, and he's done well in the past. He did well against Australia and Pakistan. He did well in Sri Lanka. But unfortunately, Noman Ali, if he gets a chance in Perth, he could actually struggle in this case. Although Perth, the Waka has helped left-arm spin in the past, but the Optus Stadium traditionally does not help left-arm spin in that sense. So Pakistan, will they go for an all-out pace attack? If they do, then they'll be in a slight bit of bother because Abrar Ahmed with his leg spin and all, and the way how he runs to the crease, the way how he delivers, it's all going to be very, very important indeed. Pakistan will lack that X factor in it. So big blow for Pakistan if that is true, that Abrar Ahmed is out for the first test against Australia at the Oct Stadium. Apart from that, if you look at it, they only have Norman Ali, who is good, but he might struggle in Australian conditions. He can hold one end up, but then unfortunately he might struggle for penetration on those wickets. So Pakistan's woes continue even in their game against the Prime Minister's 11. Very few positives to come out of that. The bowling struggled. If you look at it, the batting, Shan Masood holds the key, Babar Azam, Mohammad Rizwan, they also will hold the key in this particular case. So Pakistan's woes down under are only getting exemplified as we go on. So let me tell you all the women's news updates that's there. Alyssa Healy has been confirmed as the permanent captain for Australia across all formats. She takes over the mantle from Meg Lanning, who retired from all forms. And remember, she'll only play the WPL and all the other leagues. But apart from that, international cricket, Meg Lanning has been adieu. Alyssa Healy has got massive shoes to fill, but remember, if there is one person who's capable of the same kind of exploits that Meg Lanning achieved, it is Alyssa Healy. So Alyssa Healy is your full-time captain, and we are gearing up for the second T20I between India and England at the Wankhede Stadium. Remember, India had reduced England to 2 for 2 in the first over. They allowed Danny Wyatt and the others to ensure that they scored 50s and bring England to a 197. Fielding was a big letdown. Bowling was a big letdown, and that's why in the second T20 they'll be hoping that England does not get a total in excess of 180, 190, because for the Indian women's cricket team, chasing is a massive issue. That too, if it is 180 plus because of the lack of power hitters. Today in the WPL auction, you're going to see not much of action because the likes of Mumbai and Delhi have gotten their core team. It is an auction primarily for Gujarat Giants and Royal Challengers Bangalore. These two teams are going to bid all out for most of the players that is there. Now, who may be the big buys in this? Chamari Atapattu looks to be the big deal indeed. Deandra Doughton might come in. So, in that case, Atapattu and Doughton might be the key players in this auction for the rest of the team. So, we are gearing up for that. We'll bring you the end of the day summary as to how the auction went about. So, in that sense, 165 players for 30 slots. Let's see how it goes. So, the WPL auction at 3, and you've got the India versus England women's team. Maybe there might be a press conference today which Suryakumar Yadav might do. When that happens, we'll give you all the updates on that as well. Now, looking at the world of other sports, India's women's team are ending their Junior World Cup on a high in hockey. They beat South Korea 3-1 and now will battle it out for the 9th to 12th classification in that sense. So, in that way, this is going to be a very, very important scenario. I mean, the disappointment of not winning the medal is a big blow. And today, the India men's junior team will take on Canada in Kuala Lumpur. If they win that, they are through to the knockout stages as well. In the world of golf, there is a major update when John Ram is the current winner of the PGA Masters. He has been snapped up by Live Golf. Now, how will that affect the dynamics of the PGA Tour and Live Golf? Because remember, Live have acquired their biggest name ever since it was founded in 2022. Now, John Ram, who's a Masters winner, he now will be the biggest name in the Live Golf tournament at this point. So, that is the current situation that we have got about the world of sports as well. And looking at all the other sports that is there, now there is a bit of a lull. Rafael Nadal, we did a video yesterday as to whether 2024, whether he'll play the full year, quarter year, half year. That is the situation with Rafael Nadal at this point in time. So even the para games are beginning at this point here in India. So let's see how that goes as well. The para national games will begin very shortly. So we'll be keeping an eye even on that as well. Now, let me take a few comments in that sense. Shubman, good morning, Ankur. And Shubman, recent form is a bit concerned for Team India going to South Africa series. Yes, I mean, he has struggled. It's been up and down when it comes to Shubman Gill, but maybe he can end the year on a high. Let's hope the way how he started the year, he ends it on a high. Moving ball is a problem, but yeah, moving ball, he does tend to fiddle outside the off stump. But then again, remember, he has got the technique to ensure the moving ball is not a problem for him. Pakistan has a very weak bowling attack going into the series against Australia. I mean, Even when Pakistan have taken their best bowling lineup, they have struggled in Australia. They somehow have a mental block against them, but one hopes that they can end their losing streak. Remember, they have lost 14 tests on the trot ever since 1995 in Australia. So after they won in Sydney by 74 runs in 1995, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 3-0, 2-0. That's been Pakistan's score. And not even a draw. It's been outright wins by Australia against Pakistan. So, sports fan is like saying, yesterday, Ankur Naik, Pakistan bowling struggled against President's 11. That's the thing. Your same thing that you said, Pakistan is very weak bowling attack. Yes, but maybe they may want to underplay themselves heading into the first test at the Optus Stadium. Let's see how that goes. Sports fan, more venues should host women's games. We are struggling in high scoring games in Wankhede. Look, the women's games have been played according to the COVID situation. 3 in Wankhede. The one-off test match is going to be held at D.Y. Patil in Mumbai. Why? Why can't there be any other venues? But as I mentioned, the fans in Indian cricket are their biggest enemies. Only if the Indian women's team win will you see crowds flock. I mean, look at 2 classic instances of women's sport if you look at it. Gokulam, one of the top football teams in the women's division in football, yesterday played an I-League encounter in Kozhikode. How much was the capacity? Well over 20 to 30,000. How many people were there? Barely 100. What was the broadcasters? Hardly any. Official broadcast channel of the AIFF. Then why? Compare that to a situation that happened in a women's game in Bangladesh. There at the Bangabandhu Stadium, it was packed. That's the difference. That is the difference. If you want football, if you want passionate, it has to be across the spectrum. In India, only the men's team get all the benefits. The women's team still don't get the benefit. It's highlighted by the fact in COVID, everybody wanted the men's team to resume playing. Oh, we want to resume the game. We want to resume the game. The women's team did not play for 364 days. A series was cancelled. But the BCCI and everybody went overboard in ensuring, the men's team should start playing. Women's cricket in India will struggle because the fans just are not interested. They'll say, revenue it doesn't generate. It doesn't generate. Somewhere it has to begin. The fans, the broadcasters, their myopic views, their myopic coverage, unfortunately, which is dictated by a lot of editorial and revenue challenges, is the biggest challenge that Indian broadcasters face. So, women's cricket will struggle at this time. And it's also true, journalists also cannot do it on a regular basis because of editorial and revenue decisions. Now, any update on Hardik's fitness? Well, Hardik is not playing in this white ball tour in South Africa. One hopes he's fit for the Afghanistan series, but if he's not fit for that, he's directly playing in March for the IPL. That is the amount of, that's the gap that you'll have. So that one game against Bangladesh, wherein he had a ligament tear, that has ensured he's out for at least 4 to 5 months. So that's the situation. If he's not fit for Afghanistan, he's directly playing only the IPL. And whether he'll be the captain, that we don't know. Any update on Shami's fitness? Well, Shami, we hope he's fit. He did consult a specialist in Mumbai, so let's see how that goes. So that is the situation. We have action-packed Saturday today with the WPL auction and the India versus England Women's T20I. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this live. We'll be back with more updates on sports today. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live. And don't forget, we're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram as well. Bye-bye.